returned Jed's greeting cordially, and resting his satchel on a rock beside the narrow path, added, "I'm very glad to meet you. I fear that I am lost." The voice was marvelously pure, deep, and musical, and like the brown eyes betrayed the real strength of the man, denied by his gray hair and bent form. The tones were as different from the high-keyed, slurring speech of the backwoods as the gentleman himself was unlike any man Jed had ever met. The boy looked at the speaker in wide-eyed wonder. He had a queer feeling that he was in the presence of a superior being. Throwing one thin leg over the old mare's neck and waving a long arm up the hill and to the left, Jed drawled, "That thar's Dewey Ball. Down yonder's Mutton Hollow." Then, turning a little to the right and pointing into the mist with the other hand, he continued, "Compton Ridge is over thar. Where was you trying to get to, mister?" "Where am I trying to get to?" As the man repeated Jed's question, he drew his hand wearily across his brow. It doesn't much matter, boy. I suppose I must find some place where I can stay tonight. Do you live near here?" "Nope," Jed answered. "Hit's a right smart piece to where I live. This here's grindin' day, and I've been to mill over on Fall Creek. The Matthews mill hit is. Hit'll be plumb dark gin I get home. I 'lowed you was a stranger in these parts soon's I catched sight of you. What might your name be, mister?" The other, looking back over the way he had come, seemed not to hear Jed's question, and the native continued, "Mine's Holland. Pap and Mam, they come from Tennessee. Pap, he's down in the back now, and ain't right peart. But he'll be round in a little, I reckon. Preachin' Bill, he 'lows it's good for a feller to be down in the back oncet in a while. Says if it warn't for that, we'd get to standin' so derned proud and straight we'd go plumb over backwards." A bitter smile crossed the face of the older man. He evidently applied the native's philosophy in a way unguessed by Jed. Very true indeed," he mused. Then he turned to Jed and asked, "Is there a house near here?" "Jim Lane lives up the trail 'bout half a quarter. Ever hear tell of Jim?" "No, I have never been in these mountains before." "I 'lowed maybe you'd heard tell of Jim or Sammy. There's them that 'lows Jim knows a heap more about old man Dewey's cave than he lets on, his place being so nigh. Reckon you know about Colonel Dewey. Him the ball up thar's named fer. Maybe you come to look for the big mine they say's in the cave. I'll help you hunt it, if you want me to, mister." "No," said the other. "I'm not looking for mines of lead or zinc. There is greater wealth in these hills and forests, young man." "Law, you don't say! Jim Wilson allus allowed thar must be gold in these here mountains, 'cause they're so dad-burned rough. Lemme help you, mister. I'd like mighty well to get some clothes like them." "I do not speak of gold, my boy," the stranger answered kindly. "But I must not keep you longer, or darkness will overtake us. Do you think this Mr. Lane would entertain me?" Jed pushed a hand up under his tattered old hat and scratched a while before he answered, "Don't know about the entertainin', mister, but most anybody would take you in." He turned and looked thoughtfully up the trail. "I don't guess Jim's to home, though, 'cause I seed Sammy a-fixin' to go over to the Matthewses when I come past. You know the Matthewses, I reckon." There was a hint of impatience now in the deep voice. "No, I told you that I had never been in these mountains before. Will Mr. Matthews keep me, do you think?" Jed, who was still looking up the trail, suddenly leaned forward, and, pointing into the timber to the left of the path, said in an exciting whisper, "Look at that, mister! Yonder thar, by that big rock!" The stranger, looking, thought he saw a form, weird and ghost-like in the mist, flitting from tree to tree. But even as he looked, it vanished among the hundreds of fantastic shapes in the gray forest. "What is it?" he asked. The native shook his head. "Derned if I know, mister. You can't tell. There's mighty strange things."